Something I mentioned in my last video was how House of Mouse gave Horace Horsecollar and Clarabelle Cow their own personalities. I'd like to expand on that a little because this day and age they aren't seen that often, and not even in the parks. But I think they're fantastic characters and I love them very deeply. Originally, in the black and white cartoons, they were an actual cow and horse. They weren't walking and talking. It wasn't until later that they were actually able to stand up and try to achieve some sort of character. But for a while, only going by animation, they weren't much characters. They were only sidekicks. They just reacted to what the main characters did. But in the black and white world of comics, they were given full, definite personalities. And if you look at them, they actually sometimes achieved a little more than what the main characters could do. The biggest example would be when Horace and Clarabelle got married. You could never imagine that happening to Mickey and Minnie or Donald and Daisy, because they're forever dating. But Horace and Clarabelle pushed the lines and actually got married. I thought that was pretty progressive for the time. And even if it doesn't hold up today, it was still a great move. And they had their own arcs, they had their own problems and mysteries, and they're pretty good reads. There's a lot of character in them, even though Clarabelle is often given female stereotypes of her time. Whereas Horace is not that bright, but he's still well-meaning, he's still a bit of a brute. He likes to help out, even if he can be a coward. But he's a great guy, and you can't help but love him. He's a bit stubborn too, and Clarabelle isn't that bright, but they kind of complete each other in that way. And in some cases, that's carried on to the cartoons. But they weren't given full, definite personalities to the cartoon audience who hadn't read the comics until House of Mouse. You could make the argument for the Prince and the Pauper cartoon, but in my opinion, Horace has never been depicted that way again, where in this cartoon he was droll and serious and boring. I'd like to think that was just him acting, as it's been portrayed in other cartoons where they are just actors. But in House of Mouse, Clarabelle she didn't really have a job there, hilariously enough. She was more of a gossip queen. She was more of a woman than a girly girl. She flirted with several characters, such as Mortimer and Goofy, along with Horace. As for Horace, he became the technician. He helped with the machines, and he was kind of laid back, go-lucky, with occasional hints of smartness. And they were fantastic together. They weren't shown in that many cartoons, sadly enough, but they were great characters on their own. They could still contribute to plots. They could still help out the other characters, and they were still their own characters. And I thought that was fantastic, because honestly, Horace and Clarabelle should be more exposed to people. The Sensational Six should be expanded to include them, because they are now central parts. They are now best friends with these characters. Epic Mickey, I'll give them credit that they tried to bring them back, but they still didn't really come off as their own characters. Again, they came off as sidekicks, and they didn't do much for the plot. They didn't really stand out that much, in my opinion. The effort was made, it just wasn't made that well, in my opinion. But in the comic books nowadays, they are given full-fledged personalities again. They are given... In Italy and other countries, they are actually given their own comic books, where Mickey is the main character, nor is Donald. Horace and Clarabelle can often be the main characters of their own stories, of their own comic books. And in huge comic book arcs that include many characters, they're still there. For example, in the long-running and popular series Wizards of Mickey, Clarabelle is a seer who predicts things too late. And I also recommend going back, if you have the chance, to read the old comics back when they were black and white, because they're often pretty cool and pretty cute. One of my favorites is when, well, the second favorite versus them proposing, getting married, and all that cute stuff. Clarabelle wants to open a bed and breakfast kind of place, and Mickey kind of encourages her so he can get free food and lodge. But the place catches on fire, and Clarabelle asks Mickey to go in because something very important to her and precious to her is lost in there, and she doesn't know what she'll do if she loses it. So Mickey finds it and brings it out. It's a locket with a picture of baby Horace. And how adorable is that? It just says so much about how long they've been together, how much they mean to one another. And I sincerely hope we can see more of that in future cartoons. I would love to see a day when Horace and or Clarabelle get their own full-fledged cartoon. Maybe, even if it's only like 5 minutes long or less, they deserve their own day in the spotlight. They deserve to become full-fledged characters in their own right. I believe we will have the chance, given the new Mickey cartoons that are coming out. And I have high hopes for the Horse and the Cow.